We are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk, episode 105, where we discuss recent K-pop news and events, have a visit from Cousin Harold, and give you the state of the nation. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right, news and events from last week. Before we start this segment, we got messaged from a couple people about if we were going to be covering the former Stray Kids member Woojin and all the crazy stuff that's been revolving around him. Long story short, none of it seems that concrete yet, so we're gonna hold off for now. But if you want to know about it, please look it up. It involves like sexual harassment, potentially like people setting him up, potentially there's a child or something, and this
we don't know.
This goes across multiple countries or something. It's like nutty. So please go check that out. If we get anything concrete from it, we will cover it in the future. So
right now it's just a rumor, so keep our eyes out.
But in terms of the actual news stories we're going to cover, the first one is called BigHit's IT Ambitions. So,
IT.
It has been reported that BigHit has been hiring numerous IT professionals with the expectations to rival Naver and Kakao. According to the IT industry, as of September 17th, more than 100 employees who have worked for IT companies, including Naver and Kakao, in the Pangyo tech sector, which is apparently a tech hub in Korea, have moved to BigHit Entertainment. One such hire stated, BigHit Entertainment is hiring IT developers on the condition of a higher salary and the distribution of company shares, which is pretty good offer, I would say.
Ooh.
Notable hires include Park, a former CEO of Nexon Korea, who now manages BigHit's domestic organization, Kim, a former CEO from Naver, who is now in charge of Belief, which I think is related to Island, Kim, a former director venture capitalist at SV Entertainment, who is now the CIO of BigHit, and finally Chun, the former Kakao brand art manager, who was the mastermind between the Kakao character Ryan, who's that like teddy bear guy. Lastly, the report also noted that BigHit submitted an investment report to the Financial Supervisory Service on September 2nd. They included companies such as Naver and Kakao on their list of comparative companies to calculate their corporate value. Many found this interesting as they did not include any other entertainment agencies such as SM or JYP or YG or anything like that. With the rise of Weverse, its tech subsidiary BNX, and the partial ownership of the company by Netmarble, it is clear that BigHit has big ambitions that far exceed just K-pop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Real talk. This took many takes because like I couldn't do it. So if my glasses disappear in the middle of that segment, too bad. All right, let's talk about this though.
Yeah. Clearly, they're very ambitious, right? I think we can all conclude that. If we're talking about Naver and Kakao, which basically is like the two biggest Korean IT companies out here, right? Naver has been probably the champion of the IT market in Korea for quite a while. Their services are very wide, and Kakao has become one of the biggest startups to kind of reach this velocity in the past, 6 years, 7 years. Actually, no, Kakao Talk's been around for 8 years now, so 8, 9, 10 years almost. This is quite big, right?
Yeah.
Because in order for BigHit to say we're going to rival Naver and Kakao, that means that we are very committed to IT. That they don't want it. To me, sounds like they don't want BTS to be their main product. Sure, I mean, no, a lot of their sales right now is reliant on BTS and TXT and whatnot. That's what I'm gonna assume.
Their groups, yeah.
Right. Their main that is the main products that company offers. Now we have stuff like Weverse and whatnot. The problem where I see it is it has a very limited audience, very limited scope compared to Naver and Kakao, which are literally targeting entire countries.
Yeah, general public.
Right. They're basically Kakao and Naver have almost monopolies in certain areas of the entire industry in IT in Korea. It's a little dangerous. That's my first gut reaction. But then again, BTS so far has been on a good track record, right? They've managed to pull off a lot of ventures and purchases really, really well, and so far the stuff they're currently really pushing out with different groups and whatnot have been really successful. I think the G-Friend pivot was really a successful one. In my opinion, I don't know about you, but in that aspect, I want to believe that this is going to work out for them. but this is gonna be a real uphill battle. But then again, they've already won uphill battles with BTS. So
I think this is so for Big Hit as a whole. I think at one point you called Big Hit BTS, and I get, like sometimes we confuse them together.
my bad.
Big Hit as a company, I think this is so obviously they're gonna have that massive evaluation soon. It's like 3 trillion won or something, right? Something ridiculous. This is obviously going to be the real test of like power, right? Like, can you pull off more than just K-pop at the end of the day? Now, honestly, they have a pretty good foundation there because instead of trying to do it themselves, they're obviously bringing in, they're essentially poaching talent, which I don't think it's really poaching because like everyone's free to work where they want to work. And if you're going to offer them a better deal, who wouldn't take it, right?
Right.
But additionally, I think it started with the whole Weverse thing. I think it was also telling that they used to do their online concert portion with Naver, and now they're doing it on their own platforms, right? That's very telling that that's the type of things they want to do. We'll have to see, because I wonder, in terms of the IT, what kind of tech are we pulling out? Is it just to enhance the K-pop product, or are they seeking further things? That's the big thing that I'm curious about.
The moment they start naming Kakao and Naver now as their main competitors, they're saying they're a tech company.
Yeah.
Further than
They're
K-pop.
saying, right. They're at this point they're saying our main product is gonna be our IT platforms. So we'll have to see what happens. It's gonna be, as someone who works in the IT sector, this is really interesting.
Yeah. I'm excited because, you know, like the thing is, at the end of the day, if there's more companies doing these type of IT stuff, the products just get better over time. More competition, better products.
In-house development teams are always better than agencies and, you know, third parties.
All right, but let's move on to the next topic. So the impact of COVID on K-pop. So on September 16th, Channel A News reported on the precarious situation of many K-pop agencies and their artists during the COVID-19 pandemic. The network reported that with events and festivities and festivals being canceled, many small and medium-sized agencies are at the brink of shutting down or have already closed while their trainees are left in limbo. Channel A also noted that many idols under small to medium-sized agencies are more popular overseas than in Korea, so that most of their profits come from overseas performances, which obviously have had a problem doing those during the pandemic. They're non-existent. Most of these agencies are worried about the survival at the current time rather than even turning a profit. They're just wondering if they could make it through the pandemic. It was also suggested that the government support measures focus too much on theater and dance while neglecting agencies for singers as a part of the popular industry. As a part of the popular culture industry is what I meant. According to the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, 34 entertainment agencies have already shut down since March.
Oh, wow.
Now, we do want to note that 34 is not limited to idol K-pop, right? These are entertainment agencies.
It could be like a actors agency or like a trot agency or something like that, or a drama, you know, that kind of thing.
That being said, I mean, 34 is still a lot, and it's kind of alarming. Kind of okay, economy, little bit of a slow pace right now.
Yep.
Some could say it's at a recession. You know, not super exciting stuff to talk about. Last time Korea went through a major recession, I want to say was the late 90s, early 2000s with the IMF situation, where along with the dot-com bubble, right, the burst, a lot of small companies kind of went burst. They went toast. This kind of reminds me of that situation. I hope it, at the end of the day, it's a recession that is caused by an external force. So I hope it, slows down at some point. Korea does seem to be doing a better job of controlling virus in general, even though recently we've had some upticks. So
the thing that stood out to me, right, was the number one, small to medium agencies hit harder. That obviously makes more sense. They got less money.
Yeah.
And as we've always said, like a lot of K-pop companies / idols don't make any money. Even like some mid-tier just don't make money because it's just how it is. I think the thing that really got me thinking was the overseas performance aspect. Because there are a lot of groups that rely on that who don't have the biggest presence in Korea. One that comes to mind off the top of my head is like Card, right? Like they don't sell that many albums, and they were mostly noted for doing overseas like concert tours as one of their main forms of income. So it must be hitting them pretty hard, right? I would assume.
Yeah.
I mean,
I now is the time to get creative, do weird stuff to kind of, try to make money. And I hope that works,
It also sucks because like one alternative would have been to sell merch, but shipping's not that great either right now. So it's like, what else are you gonna do? Tough situation.
Content,
yeah. And there's no good answer. It's just like we're just reporting on what's happening, but like
no solution.
It's not like we have a solution.
Now, that being said, if Willem is under dangerous conditions, I'm willing to donate some money. So
all right.
Okay. Warren's gonna like go out and Warren's about to go out and like sell a kidney so he can support Willem or something. But in terms of quick takes, the quick takes are happier, I promise you. So the first one. NCT will start a new project called NCT 2020. I think that's how we're calling that, with music videos for they already announced the song titles. Make a Wish and From Home will be releasing on October 12th and the 19th respectively. A full album titled NCT 2020 Resonance Part 1 will contain 12 songs and also be released on the 12th, which is the same day as Make a Wish, so I'm assuming that's one of the title tracks. NCT 2020 is said to include 23 members, including all 21 members of NCT 127, NCT Dream, and Wavy, along with 2 new members, Shitaro and Songchan.
Right.
Okay, that's a lot of people.
Anita, do you want to speak about this a little bit?
Yeah. So it was a little confusing because I wasn't sure how many people were going to be in this promotion, or even if all Wavy members were actually going to be included, since Wavy and its state within NCT was a little bit confusing at first. But it seems like they're fully included, which is great. 2 new members, very interesting. Apparently these 2 new members will eventually be in a NCT unit in the future.
Okay.
So they'll be introduced formally, I guess, in that. But I don't know. This is very interesting. The rumors are that these.
Anita dropped. No.
Anita dropped.
No.
We'll take a short break. 3,
3.
2, 1. We're back. We took a longer break than expected. Anita's internet kicked out for the first time in like 20 episodes. So
it's been a while, huh?
But the last thing Anita said, I believe, was that she thinks that these 2 new kids are going to be put in an NCTU unit at some point, and then she also heard a rumor about them. So what was this rumor?
Well, I don't know if they've already released like their personal information, but apparently these 2 members are the youngest members of NCT under the NCT umbrella. I don't know exactly the years, but I'm guessing somewhere like 2004, 2003. So they're young. And I guess this indicates to me that this thing is still going. We're still going to pull through.
We're still committed to the NCT thing.
Yeah. So I wonder if this was the unit and like the possible new NCTU unit. The rumor that apparently SM was gonna have like a boy thing, like a boy group project sometime this year. I wonder if this is what they were referring to. It would make sense, but
it would definitely make sense.
I mean, say what you will, but 23 people on a song?
Yeah.
That's quite a bit. Like K-pop used to make fun of AKB for having too many people in one song. They got like 19, 20 kids per track. Now there's more. So, I mean, I guess we really going after the AKB profit model, but...
it seems like a lot of people, though.
23?
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah.
All right, but let's move on to the next one. So, SBS and JYP Entertainment partner up for a new program, Loud. That's what it's called, Loud. So, described as a 2021 worldwide project. More details will be revealed in the future. Many believe that this Loud thing is related to an excerpt from a recent Forbes magazine article, which stated that JYP was in talks of holding a survival show similar to NiziU and 16 in the United States.
All in the United States.
Yeah, so it might not be limited to the United States, but they think it's gonna be international, so it's something.
Primarily.
Interesting.
The next one, Blackpink is set to collab with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Mobile, so PUBG Mobile, and BTS is set to collab with Fortnite's Party Royale, which is a new game mode, which is more like a relaxed mode, no fighting, for the release of the Dynamite Choreo music video. So, I don't play either of those games, but from what I understand, Fortnite's Party Royale is more just like a chill mode. You build things, there's no fighting.
The Minecraft version.
So I'm assuming there's going to be like a screen or something in that mode, and they're going to debut the Dynamite Choreo music video virtually that way.
Interesting.
Okay. It's kind of fun.
That's kind of a weird collab, but it's a thing. And also the Blackpink with PUBG, they've been dropping teaser photos too, so that's kind of cool. Next, in terms of concerts and events, BTS held a Tiny Desk concert via NPR today on September 21st.
Oh, okay.
Lovelyz will hold an online concert on October 18th. Ujusonyo will also be holding an online concert, but theirs will be on October 24th. And the Mnet Asian Music Awards, also known as MAMA, are confirmed and will be held on December 6th. We don't know in what capacity, though. The next one, P Nation announced the signing of Haze to the label.
Wow.
Haze will be joining artists at P Nation such as Jessie, Hyuna, Dawn, and Crush, and Psy himself.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
Earlier in the week, Yuhio's Sketchbook aired the IU 12th anniversary special. The special aired on September 18th and included 13 songs with a runtime of 100 minutes. Ratings came in at 2.2%, which is a triple of the previous week's viewership.
Wow.
Additionally, they said IU recorded for like 10 hours or something to record the 13 songs.
Oh my.
So something nuts. Next, so this is a update from last year. Block B's Park Kyung, who had accused multiple artists of sajegi or chart manipulation back in November of 2019, has been found guilty of defamation, which means basically he was making false claims about these people and it hurt their reputations. On September 11th, he was charged with a 5 million won fine, which is only around, well, not only, but it's about $4,000 US. It's a bit of a slap on the wrist, but at the same time, it's more like the verdict is the big thing here. That pretty much they proved that he was essentially saying false claims.
Dang.
I kind of wished he had made those claims with more factual evidence to back them up, and maybe we could have unrooted. I mean, if you look at this year's charts, not that many tracks where I'm like, who are you? So
yeah, there seems to be a decrease in that. I know he might have had something to do with that, but at the end of the day, like, you should only say things that you know are true, because it can ruin other people's reputations. Lastly, BlackBerry Creative announced that Luna's Hustle will not be participating in promotions for 12 o'clock, which drops on October 19th. So they finally announced the date, which is happy. October 19th. We getting it. Whip out your capes, which is a new merch item they have, and they have a new light stick, which is a scepter. So one of our mods, Mal, has the cape and the scepter. It's crazy looking. He already showed us.
Full wizard. Yes.
But they further stated, quote, "We plan to inform you in the future regarding Hasel's return after considering her health condition, medical opinion, and her own opinion." So we'll have to see what happens. Hasel has been on hiatus since January and has been diagnosed with reoccurring anxiety. So,
well, I hope she takes her rest very seriously.
Yes.
But in terms of comebacks and releases, Warren, hit us with them. There's so many. It's nuts.
Ooh, boy, he got a big list today. But here we go. September 22nd on Tuesday, we have Signature. September 23 on Wednesday, we have a comeback from HND, Boyz the Capo, UNVS, as well as the debut of Ghost 9.
Oh, yes.
On September 24th. On Thursday, we have Uptension coming back, along with One We. September 25th, on Friday, we have Super M and Kim Hyo-han collabing with Bae-jin-young for Pepsi. On September 28th, on Monday, we have Super Junior D and E. In other confirmed release news. Luna coming back on October 19th. TXT coming back October 26th. 17 coming back in October. Wakey Mickey confirmed for October. Pentagon for October. Very, very October. TXT late October. And B184 for late October.
Yeah, B184. They lost a bunch of members, but they're still doing it. I think there's 3 guys now. Additionally, while we were recording, Wakey Makey is October 8th is the date that came out for that. That dropped while we were recording.
Wakey Makey for October 8th.
I'm going to speak real quick, but I have to reset our thing, but I think it will only affect Warren and I. But we are now at Hot Takes and Fuego Questions with Harold. So I will go get Cousin Harold.
Okay. So we're getting Harold. There's a lot of blinks. I didn't know what Doug was gonna do, but there you go, I guess. Blinks doesn't like scream blinks, not Blackpink fan. Sorry.
It's not like anyone wanted to see you anyway, Warren.
Okay.
But the weekly question is, what are the crew's favorite K-dramas and variety shows? Boom. See you next week.
See you, man.
Bye.
You've become a lot nicer recently, you know?
Yeah, he toned it down a bit this week.
Yeah, I feel like every time like I see him, like he says mean things because he actually likes me, you know? Like a tsundere kind of thing, you know? Like, yeah.
There might be a bromance budding between you two.
I mean, no. I don't like Harold, please.
But the question of the week, which was submitted by K-Salu. What's up, K-Salu? Shout out to Australia.
From Discord. Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what are the crew's favorite K-dramas and variety shows? So we could probably talk about this for like 2 hours, but we gotta keep it a little bit concise. So let's just go round robin with not Sky Castle. That's the number one I'm gonna say. But in terms of the dramas, let's go in a circle, say our favorite ones, give a little bit of a description, right? One of my favorites of all time, Sky Castle, Fuego show. It's about, if I had to describe it, the competitive nature of rich families and education in Korea. It's bananas. Go check out Sky Castle. Boom.
I need to go.
All right. So I think Doug has this one on his list as well, but my favorite one, like of all time, is Reply 1988. So it's part of that Reply series. And this is the most recent one. I don't know. This is such a good drama. I feel like it has both comedy, romance, like talking about like real issues at the time, as well as like family dynamics. It's really, really cool. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, so some of the issues they cover, it's like, so you know how a lot of Koreans have the same last name because a lot of them are from like the same clan, or like, you know, we have a lot of similar last names, right?
The Kim, the Lees, the Parks.
One of the episodes literally deals with like the taboo of marrying someone else with the same last name.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting.
And that was a big issue back in the late 80s, something like that. They also talk about like the student protests in one episode.
Yeah,
it's based around that. So it's a really like a great screenshot of what it was like back then in those days, and it's great. It's the main actress is ENHYPEN, also known as Ducksun from Girls' Day. So idol actress there. What about you, Warren? What's one of your favorite dramas?
Not a big drama watcher, not gonna lie. But one of the last dramas I ever saw was in 2010. Should I even still talk about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this was a drama called Beethoven Virus from 2008.
Oh.
I would say it's up there a little bit with the classics, but that might be because because it's me. But I used to play in the orchestra growing up, high school, middle school, elementary school. It's about an orchestra. You know, it takes place in the neighborhood that I used to live in. Literally, I almost saw them film. I missed it. I went because my friend told me they're filming. I was like, okay, I'll go to check it out. And they were gone and they were done. So that was a little sad. But I mean, if you like classical music, if you like really, really mean conductors who speak very sternly, I mean that that might be up your alley a little bit. You know, it's a little irrelevant now. Not gonna lie, it's 12 years old, but
no, old dramas are still great.
Okay.
Who are the actors, if you remember?
Kim Myung-min is the main mean conductor.
Okay.
The female lead of the show is Lee Jia. Do you guys know who that is?
Nope.
Yeah.
She is Seo-taeji's wife.
Oh, okay. That's
yes,
interesting.
yes.
Yeah. And then the male lead is Jang Geun-seok. You guys know who that is, right?
Yeah, I know Jang Geun-seok. He's the It's Showtime. Yeah.
That kid.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
All right,
yeah.
Other dramas I like, I'm just gonna name like two more. First one, Hotel de Luna. That's a recent one. Stars IU. That's a crazy drama. It's like, how do I describe that drama? There's like a magical hotel and I used the owner of the hotel, and all this crazy magical things happen. The other one, last one, Mr. Sunshine, which is a historical drama during the Japanese occupation of Korea, starring Lee Byung-hyun and Kim Tae-ri. I think they jumped the shark at one point in that drama, but the first half is amazing, I would say. Not a fan of the second half, though, but it's crazy. Period piece, awesome. Before we move on to varieties, do you guys have any other dramas you want to recommend?
I have 2 shout-outs. So
Okay.
one is for the first season of the drama called Age of Youth. And I think in Korean it was like Hello My 20s or Age of My 20s. The first season, really, really great. Second season, but look out for the first season. It was really, really nice. Slice of life in college, really cool. The second one is a little bit older. I don't remember what year it came out. I was still in high school at the time, but it's My Master's Son. And it deals with like ghosts, so it's more like fantasy based, I guess. But it's really funny. Yes. More romance based. Yes.
This one.
Yeah.
My mom really likes this one, and she doesn't like dramas.
That's a good one.
So, I mean, yeah.
All right, let's move on to variety shows. I think I enjoy variety shows way more. I think Warren
I'm a
does
big
too.
variety guy. Here we go.
I don't know about Anita, but like I'm big into variety shows. Some of my standards, the stuff I'm watching right now, I've been watching Running Man since it started. There was like a middle period where it kind of got bad for a while. I would say for the most part, it's pretty good right now. So Running Man's a classic. I'm sure most of you know Running Man. The next one, Home Alone, Na 혼자 산다. That's one of my favorite variety shows. It's essentially, you just follow the lives. It's a slice of life of celebrities who are single and live by themselves. What I would suggest doing is only watch the episodes or the segments where the main cast is there. Because sometimes I think the guests aren't that good. Unless it's someone you like. But for the most part, it's just people doing their own thing at home. And of course, when you're at home, you do weird things probably by yourself. One other I'll say for the first bit is that there's a show called Delicious Rendezvous starring this guy called Baek Jong-won. He is he's like the most famous food guy in Korea right now, I would say. He's like all over the place. Essentially what happens on the show, the current thing is they go and they meet these farmers who, like, let's say you're a farmer who fishes for eels, or you're a person who grows scallions. And they talk about how they're struggling because of the current situation. And then Baek Jong-won and his crew, which includes Heechul, and this past week, I think Jisoo from Blackpink's guesting on the show. They basically make a bunch of recipes surrounding this one item to try to get Korean people to buy more of it. And I think it's has a good social... It's doing good things for Korea, good thing for the farmers. It's a good show overall if you're hungry. Well, don't watch it when you're too hungry because all of it looks delicious. All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Because I'm a big variety guy. And you know what I like about varieties in Korea? There's a bunch of there's different types of varieties, but my favorite type of the variety is when you get these random ass game shows with little to no structure, and it's just from the beginning to the end. It's just you're just there to laugh, like because. I like shows like Delicious Rendezvous, but like there's this like overall like structure and a theme and a message, and like that's really cool too. But like what if I just want to straight up laugh for like an hour or so, That's when I go watch stuff like the new Journey to the West. This is called 신서유기, or Journey to the New West, depending on which translation you're looking at.
That is like the funniest show on TV, I think.
Hilarious.
Right now, I would say easily by far the funniest show. Season 8 cast includes Mr. Kang Ho-dong. Y'all know him, the big, guy from what's it called?
Used to be Star King.
Right.
He's also from Knowing Bros. He's the
Bros.
main guy there.
Right. And then the original season of One Day, Two Nights.
I love that show.
No,
yes.
2 Day, One Night.
I think the main idols you would probably recognize is Kyuhyun from Super Junior, Pio from Block B, and Song Minho from Winner. Those are the main idols on the show.
We also have Eun Ji-won from like Just Kiss back in the day, and then Lee Soo-gun, another wonderful comedian and probably one of my favorite variety stars. Great chemistry, lots of interesting games.
Here's my favorite one. There's a consistent nighttime mission where you have to protect something from everyone else. And like one time they did like fruit. So someone had to protect
don't spoil it though.
I'll just say one fruit. I'll just say one fruit.
Okay.
Someone tried to protect the durian for 12 hours straight in the middle of the night from everyone else. That literally happened. Someone tried to hide a durian from everyone. Yeah. It's stuff like that.
It's just if you're there, if you want to laugh for like an hour straight without thinking about anything else, that's the perfect show. I've rewatched everything at least 3 times. I think I've rewatched season 4 in specific like 5 or 6 times, but that's cool too. So that's my shout out. I can do more if you want, but
you could do 1 or 2 more. I think that's fine.
okay. I'm gonna leave. Thinking about, should I talk about Great Escape or Infinite Challenge?
I think you should talk about Great Escape because it's more accessible.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, Infinite Challenge doesn't have great English subs, but Great Escape is the other way around, where if you want to think as much as possible while you're watching, you know? Sure. I mean, there's a lot of funny moments, but like Great Escape is, it's not completely about solving puzzles and missions. It takes you through an engaging mission that each member goes on. Kang Dong is on here and a bunch of other people as well. Pio is on here as well. As well as other variety stars you're going to recognize from other shows. Lots of great chemistry, lots of great balance.
It's essentially you throw a bunch of comedians in an escape room and see what happens. And they're all kind of dumb. That's essentially what happens. And it's just a dumpster fire, clown fiesta every single time.
I'm not going to lie, certain episodes are a little scary.
Yeah, there's horror episodes all the time these days.
But I mean, if anything, I really like those. Every time they're in a ghost house or anything like that. A shaman's house. This is another show I've rewatched. Well, season 3 I've only watched once, but season 1 and 2 I've rewatched like 2 or 3 times each.
All right, Anita, what are some variety shows you watch?
I think you guys covered some of the ones that I've watched. I feel like I watch a lot of like rerun or like old clips of 2 Days One Night with the older cast.
The season 1 is the best of that show.
Yeah. Way back in the day. Which is basically a lot of the people that are in Journey to the New West. Like half of the cast. So that's basically like really, really funny. Knowing Brothers also kind of variety, I want to say.
Yeah, I think Knowing Brothers is a show where essentially I think the best way to watch Knowing Bros is to look up the guest lists for each episode and watch the guests you like.
Yes. That's definitely the ones that I've seen the most.
Yeah, that show's pretty much meant for the guests to just like lull about and you get to know the guest more. Before we end the segment, there's 2 other shows I want to suggest. The first one is called Sixth Sense, which is a new show. It stars Yoo Jae-suk, the guy from Running Man. Essentially, they bring a cast which includes Jessie and Miju from Lovely, so you already know the cast is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And what the objective is, they bring them to 3 locations, and one of them is 100% fake. And they have to figure out which one it is. And let me just say, I've gotten it wrong every single episode so far.
Wow.
I have not been able to tell. I've been completely wrong each time.
Also heard the staff is the production team is very similar to Running Man season 1.
Yes.
So that's what gets you going.
And then the last show, which is just a straight like intelligence game show, is called The Genius. They just play games and it's a bunch of smart people and it's basically who's the smartest person here and who has the most logic. So it's one of those straight game shows. But, I feel like we requested a bunch of K-dramas, a bunch of variety shows that should hold all of you over for a really long time. I think, let's just go around. So the dramas I recommended, Sky Castle, Hotel de Luna, and I know Anita has overlap with me, so you could go next.
So I did Reply, 1988, Age of Youth, Season 1, and My Master's Son.
And then Warren?
I suggested the drama Beethoven Virus, as well as the variety shows Journey to the New West, or New Journey to the West, and The Great Escape.
And the ones I recommended, Running Man, Home Alone, Delicious Rendezvous, Sixth Sense, The Genius. And Anita, what about your variety shows?
Well, I kind of overlapped with you guys for this, but 2 Days, One Night, the older seasons were definitely my favorite, and Knowing Brothers for the guests. Yep.
And I think the best way to look up any of these, even the dramas, is to do a quick YouTube search, find some clips, see if it's for you or not. That's the best way to do it, because obviously we're overwhelming you with like 10 dramas and like 20 variety shows. So look up the ones if you like the clips, because you know the highest search clip is probably the viral moment. So look that up. If you think it's funny, watch that one.
Kind of find it funny that like even in variety, Anita likes the retro stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of ironic.
One day, that's kind of.
But we're at State of the Nation. Before we get to the Island finale discussion, I see that Warren has one recommendation. So hit us with that real quick.
All right. I know we got a lot higher music fans up in this scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They've been pumping out some good music, you know? So previously, a couple weeks ago, they released Red Tape, which was the first part of their compilation album. Lots of rap heavy, you know, lots of, you know, aggressive hip hop. Now we got Blue Tape. Which is a lot more laid back, a lot more chill, lots of R&B or like smooth rap vibes. You know, I didn't expect to like this much. It's so I've listened to it on Psycho for about 3-4 times now. And you know what? It's very surprisingly good. We got some new names who are doing really, really well. I think Tradell performed better in this album. Same with what's his name? Woody Go Child. That name, Jesus. Yes, I'm Woody Go Child. That kid. As well as Big Naughty. He's got a solo track called Live. Perfect song. Really good stuff.
His voice. Dang.
I know. And we got some American artists on it as well, like 28 AV, and then Audrey Nuna and people like that. Okay. I know. And then Golden has a solo track called Selfish. And it is that track and Champagne Die is probably one of my favorite like chill R&B vibe tracks this year. It is it's really solid. I think label of the year for rap music is either gonna come down to Higher Music and Highlight Records, both of which beginning with HI. We'll have to see. I'm right now on the edge between which, but. Yay.
Higher music.
Tape.
You're supposed to end it by saying, "Yay!" So go listen to Blue Tape.
Go listen to Blue Tape.
All right, Island finale, Anita. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. So the winning group is going to be called ENHYPEN or ENHYPEN. We don't know exactly how. I think it's ENHYPEN.
Right.
But they will be making their debut within 2020. That was announced. Additionally, during the live finale of Island, it was also announced that the partnership between CJ and BigHit will be continuing through a global tour audition to find female talent, which is going to be happening soon. And many believe that this will result in a female version of Island down the road.
Oh my goodness.
So that's a thing. But in terms of the finale itself, it was 2.5 hours. A lot of it was filler, right, Anita? They performed some old songs. All the eliminated kids came back at a certain point, so they performed Into the Island together, things like that. You know, we heard like they made self-promotion videos. A lot of filler, right? What you're here for is the results of this, right? Okay. Here we go. The format was 6 kids make it on Global Fan Vote. And then the remaining 3 kids, one of them is selected via the producers there, right? Yep. They started off with 5th place. 5th place went to Heesung.
You already knew stuff was.
We already knew something was wrong. Heesung getting 5th place. He had been consistently like number 2 in popular vote the whole way, but he got 5th place today. 4th place was when the proverbial shit hit the fan, right? When Nicki got 4th place. Regardless of all the weird issues with Nicki, like his proposed attitude, the issue with K, the kid made the group in 4th place. And already we were like, oh my God. 3rd place then, you're like, all right, if Nicki made it, what was going to happen? But no, Jake made it in 3rd place.
Out of nowhere.
That was kind of shocking. At that point, you're like, what happened? So in terms of the vote totals, right? 3rd place Jake, 1,179,000.
Oh man, that's a lot of
4th place, Nicki, 1,140,000. 5th place, Heesung, 1,137,000. It's very close, is what I'm saying. 2nd place, Jay, our boy Jay. From starting at the beginning of the show when he was auditioning for all of the parts and not getting them, and like his terrible edit for a while with his pride. And then the second half of the show, he's had like the best miracle edit of all time. He
Yeah.
ended up with 1,192,000 votes. So still though, I'm looking at it now. I know we started at 5th place, but second place all the way down to 6th place was really close in terms of voting. Like about 100,000 votes separated second place to 6th place. It was so close. First place though, you know, everyone was expecting Sonu to get first place, right? Because he had been first place every time there was a popularity vote. Nope. Yang Jung-won, who was like almost in trouble last week, almost got eliminated.
Yep.
Got first place in terms of popular vote.
Wow.
All of a sudden, fam.
Okay, so now that we know how people ended up, I just feel like it made sense in a certain way when I found out that Heesung was 5th and then Nikki was 4th, that people voted based on the previous episode. And
I agree.
And that they switched out. They did a flip. So people that were at the bottom at the end of the episode ended up being way at the top for the most part at the beginning of this or for the final. And that made sense because if you had been the second to last kid in the previous episode, which was Jungwon, people are gonna vote on heavily to save him because they knew he was at risk.
Yeah.
Even though it was producer based, so we really didn't know what his popularity vote was at the time. I think it was like a panic voting where they were just going and voting for him because they didn't know if he was gonna make it or not. Which left the 7th spot really odd for the producer pick.
So we had 5 places, right? First place, Jungwon. Second place, Jae. Third place, Jake. Fourth place, Nikki. Fifth place, Heesung. The 4 we were left with were Sunghoon, K, Sonu, and Daniel. And honestly, I had been saying consistently that I thought 3 of those kids were locks for the group. I thought that Sunghoon, K, and Sonu were making this group. Well, 2 of them had to go. So at least one of those kids wasn't going to make it, right?
Yeah.
They announced 6th place was Sunghoon. I was like, that makes sense. Out of those 4, I thought he was most likely, right? So that made sense to me. We were then left with 3. K, Sonu, and Daniel. I'm sorry, Daniel, but you had no shot at this point. Like, I'm sorry. Like, right, Anita?
Good sport, though. He tried his best.
But he really had no shot at this point. It was between K and Sonu. Let me just tell you, they released the vote totals. K won the popular vote here. So K ended up with 946,000. Sonu had 935,000 and Daniel had 773,000. So Daniel was like not even in the popular vote, had no chance.
But
they chose Sonu over K was the finale of this show. What do you think about that, Anita?
Okay, so before they announced the 7th spot, I had thought based on the comments that producers had made to Sonu and just the relative ranking that he had whenever it was them giving out the rankings, I didn't think he was like a producer favorite per se. I think he did pretty well, like middle, like 5th, 4th place, but I didn't think he ever really scored above anyone for producers. Which is why I thought, it's gotta go to K, because K was number 1 for the producer pick in the last episode. So I thought, well, I'm sad. I really wanted Sony to be in the group, and then the producers chose him, which makes sense. But
it makes more sense. Okay, here's why it makes more sense, right? K is 22, Korean age 24.
Yeah, he's the oldest.
It came down to that because if we think of all the contestants who were ever on the show, right? K was the oldest, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the oldest in the group is Heesung, who's only 18 in regular and international age, 20 in Korean age. He's the 8th oldest kid on the show. So now it means everyone in the group is either 20 in Korean age or younger.
Yeah,
honestly, I think that's why I honestly think that was a big factor in their decision, was his age.
Yeah, I feel like it also, like, now thinking back on it and how the decision might have gone is that I also feel like they might have been thinking about leadership, because if K had been added in the group, I think most of the members would have chosen him as the leader. And I don't know if that's what they wanted, if that's like what they wanted to build the group on, like K being the leader and Heesun kind of taking like a secondary spot as center. I don't know.
Vice captain, right?
Yeah. So I feel like they must have made a last minute decision of Heesun is going to be the leader and
so
maybe
Warren,
possibly center.
they literally they picked the first 6 kids and then the producers all huddled together for like a couple minutes and literally chose the kid. Like they literally just huddled and they're pointing at spreadsheets and then they agreed.
I mean, like Anita said, and like you said, I think because of age that makes.
I think age
sense.
was the biggest factor.
I do think like even though I didn't watch the show and even though I don't really have much commitment to these members, I thought it'd be fun to see Kay and Nikki be the Japanese bros in the group. But
I think it really came down to so Nikki's maknae, right? He's 14 years old international and Kay is 22 international. That's a gigantic difference. That's an 8-year difference. And I think that's really what their decision came down to.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see why they would make that decision.
I think it sucks because Kay's probably like top 3 most talented on the show.
Yeah, I feel like
that's why.
Not really disputed. It was just, I think the age was a big factor.
I think it's fit. It came down to fit. And
yeah.
Also, like Sonu had been like most popular and Mr. Congeniality for most of the show.
Yep, the voting flipped. He was consistently number 1, but his voters, I think, got quite comfortable in the last episode maybe and decided to vote for others to try to save them.
I think the unfortunate thing is K being 22, like this was probably one of his last shots in K-pop.
Yeah, that's what worried
That's
me.
what sucks. Because he's 22 is like normally the boundary age on when they debut idols. That being said, let's talk about ENHYPEN now. I'm kind of excited for this group, Anita, right? You think because they chose Sonu, they're gonna go with a more boyish concept because that's like his specialty?
Maybe. I mean, the most of the members are pretty young. Like even Heesun, like he's still really young. So I don't know. I hope they go for a younger concept, at least in the beginning, just because they would suit them. But I have a feeling that they won't really do that based on the songs that they've given them in the show and like the challenges they've had. They've kind of played around with like those two, like the more mature, darker concept and then like the more youthful, cutesy concept. And majority of members seem to like the mature concept. Like they kind of want to avoid the cute concept. So
I agree with that. Because if you think about the lineup, right? Jongwon can probably do either. Jay's dark concept. Jake is dark concept. Nikki's dark concept. Heesun could do either. Sunghoon could do either. And Sonu's a boyish concept, right?
Yeah.
The average is they're going to do a dark concept, I would say.
Yeah,
at least that's what I think. Overall, though, I think Island as a show, I think they improved a lot of the things I didn't like in the first half of the show in the second half, for sure. I like the second half way more than the first half.
I don't know. I was kind of, if you listen to the first time we were discussing Island, I was cracking up like no tomorrow.
Oh, when I was like Lord of the Flies back then.
Yeah, there was so much drama.
I mean,
there was not that much drama in the second half, and honestly, like other than this finale with K being eliminated, it wasn't too surprising. I would say.
Yeah,
I mean,
but ENHYPEN, I think a lot of people watched Island or are going to be hyped for this, and I wonder how this group is going to be comparatively to TXT, which is the other rookie group at the BigHit umbrella. So that's something to look out for, I would say.
Now, fun fact about them in the BigHit umbrella is their Weavers subscriber count is the second highest. Now, this is because they were using they transferred the entire Island Weavers account into ENHYPEN, but apparently they are at 2,870K.
Oh.
Which is the second highest, a little higher than TXT.
So you're saying 2.8 million? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
287만.
Oh, it's 2 million. 2 million.
Okay, 2 million. 2.8 million. Whereas BTS is at 70 million. Jesus.
Yeah.
And TXT a little behind with 27 million. 27.7.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I honestly think there was a lot of eyes on this product, and I think that Island overall was a great success because it got you invested in a lot of these kids, and obviously a lot of them are extremely talented. I would be down for a female version of this show, because I like girl groups. I mean, I'm just saying.
It could happen. It's gonna happen.
Island was fun. I'm kind of happy it's over though, right, Anita? It was long. It was a long journey to get here, right? Oh yeah, it was a long journey. Congratulations to the winner, and I'm kind of hyped for ENHYPEN. So that's that.
Apparently, from September 20th to September 24th, they're receiving submissions for a fandom name. I think they should be called Hyphen. But
Hyphen? Okay.
Hyphen.
Yeah, Hyphen, because ENHYPEN.
They should call them the Hype Squad or something.
Something with hype.
Yeah, but I think this has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. Next week, I don't know what we're covering. I think the only one that's solid there is Super M. The rest of them we'll have to see. Also, in the comment section, let us know what your favorite K-dramas and variety shows are. I forgot to mention that earlier, but let us know because you might suggest something to us that we should watch. But this has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me. I think this part was really long, but we'll have to see. We'll see you guys next time, though. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Based, Mina, Jenai, Goku Mama, Jacob, Nalfiar, NJ Park, Nab Wilson, Tier. Thank you for joining SojuTalk, the weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K-Music Erday, Malfiar, No Bias Luna, Tuggle, and Wolf297.